This is a night walk with Mr. E.PLURIBUS, your national representative. The national representative is listed in the Constitution. He is the one who is chosen. He cannot be from the same state that he represents. I represent the independent state. I am the only independent government official, IGO, of the Republic Nation. For 1,000 days now, I have been the public minister or magistrate, like Thomas Jefferson was, and the second congressional representative of the people, who is in the Constitution. Now, I represent the supreme legislative branch of our government that created the nation, the dollar, and the contract on the back of the dollar. On the left side, you have the Illuminati. This is the building. I don't know if you can see it at night, but this is a night walk with Mr. E.PLURIBUS, your national representative. And it's really me. And yes, I am really the representative. Why and how? You'll figure that out in a little while. But anyway, back to the Republic Nation for which it stands, unrepresented for 213 years. This is the courthouse where the electoral votes are. They are here because this is a federal district, 10 square miles, the equal and separate sanction of Washington, D.C., which closed on 1 January 2015. But on 4 December 2014, my request to be the representative of the people was approved by the civil courts, by a civil action that is for the people. Now, someone who is for the people would be one national representative. Many means public, and this is it right here. The Law Library, County of San Luis Obispo, Courthouse Annex. Now, last year I annexed the abolished 50 states. And when that happened, someone from the government killed 50 people in Orlando. And they said it was the worst thing that ever happened in the United States of America. Well, really, they were talking about the bill, the annexation bill of 216. I annexed the 50 states. And they all got fired way before that. And they all sat on the floor before the false primaries. When Donald Trump tried to subdivide the Congress by a Fair Voter Act of unfair voting of prisoners, right? But anyway, the declaration, it means that we are non-political voters. Here we go. The moon is half full. It's 1:45. I'm a night person. This is the most powerful building in the Republic Nation of America. It's where the electoral votes are. Because when the contract of the president's job, Mr. E.PLURIBUS, chosen by the first Congress of the Republic Nation, which was the first Congress, and the first Congress of the government, which is named USA, was the 8th Congress. And if you read it, it's the non-political, temporary government that we created. Then we got invaded. But anyway, we won the war. They signed the Constitution, which is the rules of the government. It has nothing to do with people or rights. Every single thing in America that anyone thinks about, any subject, any topic, any issue, has all been politically created for 2 reasons. Number 1, so you won't know that the Federalists, who are the Democrats and Republicans, are the very same people that invaded us in 1776. And, like the Declaration says, friends in peace, enemies in war. Well, you can't be in our government. That's why we declared non-political government, a declaration of our independence, which is an open job, rank, and position, and a title for one person, one people who represent all people, the one of the many, someone from the public who represents the public. In Latin, that would be E.PLURIBUS. Unum means one, so out of many, one is unum. E.PLURIBUS, the one national representative that has been missing since 1803, since our temporary government started. Because in the Constitution, where it says the United States government of America, then it says or the people, which would be one of the people. So the name of the next representative was chosen. His name is E.PLURIBUS. So on the back of the dollar bill, on the left, you have the first seat of government. The pyramid, the Illuminati, the presidents who are supposed to be for you. Because the theme that they erased from your memory before you were born is by and for the people. So the system is based on representation. So the very first thing they talk about is we the representatives, meaning more than one. That's Thomas Jefferson and E.PLURIBUS, who is represented by the independent state, is in Congress with all the people who are supposed to represent the colonies. But they don't represent the colonies. They don't represent America. They don't represent the people or the nation. So the United States government of the Republic Nation of America got overthrown when Thomas Jefferson died, because you're not allowed to vote for politicians. So the Democrats and the Republicans both represent England, and you're not allowed to vote for them. Only they erased that from your history books when they edited your history. But that doesn't mean that you can still vote for them, and it's legal. It's not legal to vote for any politician ever since 1776. But when the government started, we had the right to a choice. There's 3 of them. There are 3 presidents. The president pro tempore of the Republic Nation is myself, E.PLURIBUS, the national representative of the people, the 2nd congressional representative of the Congress. Rule number 2, that's me. After we beat them in England in the war, we rented them the land. And the 8th Act of Congress says that the government is supposed to take possession of the land. That means we rented it to them. You read it, it says that we paid them so much money. But they wasn't supposed to change the name of our government from of ourselves, which is the name of our government for 26 years, to the United States of America. And so all the changes that they made in the Constitution don't exist anymore. Because they don't exist anymore. Because we hired 2 men, 2 temporary presidents, to represent us until we, or one of we, can represent us. And when that happens, the contract is legally concluded. And it's a legal binding and contract. So the Declaration and the Constitution created the supreme legislative branch, created the Constitution, a treaty that all of the people signed, and they all agreed to the undertaking, which is a nunc coeptis. But it's also a bogus contract because, see, they don't want to get out of the offices now that the job is over. So the rules. My job description is the Declaration. The first half tells me what to do, but I already know what to do. And I'll tell you why later. But anyway, we hired 2 men to represent us until we can represent ourselves. So, those are the conditions. Now the terms. Read the Constitution under presidential terms. If somebody has a majority in every state, that can only be the national representative who is chosen. Now the president is elected, because the president is a government employee. I represent the employer, the nation, who hired them. You vote them into office, but you're not allowed to vote them in the office if they're politicians. But you don't know that because they took it away from your brain before you were born. But I know it because after they overthrew our government, when they killed Lincoln, the 2-party system is unconstitutional. And you can't vote for a Democrat or a Republican, and there are no Democratic Americans, and there are no Republican Americans, because they all represent England. And the invasion is from within, right? The invasion is from within. And that's what they call it. It used to be the unknown invaders, the tyrants, the rich people who think that they're better than everybody else. Okay? That's a mental illness. It's like gold fever, and Donald Trump is the worst case subject there is. So, Donald Trump is not the president, and I know it, and he knows it, and everybody knows it. But I'm being blocked by the government. The old government, all the people in Washington, D.C., that district, got abolished by this district. Okay? On the left side of the dollar, on the right side, is the Republic Nation, represented by the eagle. And the name of the representative whose name was chosen, the chosen one, his name is E.PLURIBUS. He is the future guardian of justice. So we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, in the preamble, we establish justice. That's my job. I'm doing it right now. Right? Yeah, how's it going? So, 2 men, not 4 million government employees. There are no Democrats, there are no Republicans, because they think that they change the choice, the right to a choice, a president who is for you, or your national representative E. Pluribus Unum, who is for you. This is the night walk with E. Pluribus Unum, the national representative, 1,000 days into our new government, where Donald Trump is not the president, because the job contract is over. The terms and the conditions. Well, when in the course of human events, how could somebody golf at the golf course for 400 days? Well, because they wasn't the president after 1 January 2015. Now, Mr. Obama was hired in 2012 to receive the national representative. No one has ever ran for that position before because they've been hiding the empty chair in the upper chamber of the House of Representatives that has this flag, the symbol, E Pluribus Unum, is not the motto. E Pluribus Unum is a representative of the unicameral upper chamber. Now, there's a book called The Keys to the Constitution. And it says that the first illegal presidential orders came in 1949. But see, all of the presidential orders were unconstitutional anyway. But everything that the USA government, the Democrats and Republicans created, is not here anymore. Because the first rule of the government, which is the Constitution, is the rules of the government. Okay, it's not about anything else. It's about 3 people. The national representative, which I became on 5 December 2014. A federal judge made a national decree that I shall be known as E Pluribus Unum. That means that I changed my representation from pro per, like everyone else in America, to from for myself to for the people. So it's by and for the people. So the national representative represents the people and the nation that the government employees don't represent. Because, see, the Democrats and Republicans are not a part of our old government because our old government closed. And they're not a part of our new government because our new government is a trust fund. And every American born in America is eligible for $10,000 a month for life. I have a whole new re-infrastructure system, an economic re-infrastructure of a different principle that doesn't work off of the conquering English ways. Because, see, this is America, it's not England. And all of the Federalists are Americans who are for England. But you know what? This is America. And the rules are the rules. And there is no establishment. And there is no President Donald Trump. And there is no Trump administration. And according to the Constitution, there is no President Trump. Because, see, when the judge made that decree, the contract was over. Mr. Obama, hired in 2012 to receive the national representative, received him during his watch. So, I am Thomas Jefferson's legal successor. I am created equal to him. The first representative is equal to the second representative. And that's me, Mr. E. Pluribus Unum. I'm the only one that has that name. I'm the only one qualified to be Mr. E. Pluribus Unum. And I'm the only independent government official in the old United States government, which is of the Republic Nation. Now, before the Republic Nation, we was French Polynesia. So when we beat them in the war, we gave them the government in 1803. A temporary government until E Pluribus Unum arrives. And in the Constitution, once somebody becomes a national representative who's already chosen by the first Congress of the Republic Nation, now the 8th Congress is the first Congress of the USA government, where Thomas Jefferson was the first president and Mr. Obama was the 42nd and very last president. Ordered to tell you who the next person in the office is, he did not. Instead, he created party unity with Donald Trump. That is treason. That's all the Federalists ganging together, using the media and all of their knowledge to block me, the Republic Nation, the representative of the independent state, who has rank and power goes in succession to the states. And only the independent state is the Republic Nation, which is, on the 4th of July, non-political voters. And this is our downtown area that they turned all into bars.